What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back at you with another video. And today I realized that TDN dropped another mock draft. So it is time to do a mock the mock and continue it because that is the best part of this series, of course. So if you guys are new, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Just did a video with Broshmo over on his channel where we did essentially a dueling draft where we had to take a player from every single round of the drafts of 2020 to 2022. We might be doing it for 2017 to 2019. You never know. It was absolutely awesome. Super fun. If you guys have some time to look at that, it was honestly one of the more entertaining videos that we've ever done. So please feel free to check out that. And then, of course, feel free to stick around and comment down below because, again, this is a great community. We have other links to get this, just get a little bit more in with the Discord and stuff like that. So let's continue and let's get on with the video. Starting off with the #1 overall pick. Houston Texans go Will Anderson. I think given the fact that their defense is actually a little bit weaker, when I was looking at it, it was because I just posted a video and I slipped up. I thought they were looking more like 3-4 style based on the way Sport Track had their roster broke down. Forgot like in that moment that Lovie Smith is a 4-3 covered 2 type of guy. Will Anderson's perfect for that. I really do think that he would be an amazing fit. If you just want to say, hey, we're going to ride Davis Mills, we don't believe in this QB class, which I honestly don't. Just to be blunt, don't really believe in it that much. There's some really good potential players, but at this moment, there's nobody who I'd honestly think is like a legit guy. Will Anderson's a great choice because again, you got guys like Quinn Ewers, Caleb Williams coming out in the year after, Archie Manning coming in the year after that. You have dudes to look forward to, and you might as well get yourself stocked up with the best of the best. And Will Anderson is a great way to start with that. #2, again, this is also a blind reaction or live blind reaction. Like I haven't seen this. Falcons going Jalen Carter. I'm not a huge fan of that because interior defensive line just generally isn't a very high value position. I love Jalen Carter. He's my #6 player in the draft right at the moment, and I was hoping to put him #1. I honestly think that there are just better options on the board. Myles Murphy is my #1 player. Just an absolute baller. Another DB could potentially be out there. I mean, can you just imagine just being able to lock down everybody with AJ Terrell and let's just say Jalen Jones? Obviously, I wouldn't do that at #2, but the idea, the premise still remains. I just don't exactly believe that Jalen Carter adds that value that you're looking for. Of course, in my honest opinion, this class isn't full of very elite dudes. So it's not a bad pick whatsoever. I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit of like the counter argument, the devil's advocate, because it's hard to not say this is a great pick, but there's also picks I'd be more comfortable with, if that makes sense to y'all. But again, I think quarterback wouldn't be too shabby of an option, but again, you might want to just work with Desmond Ridder and see if he can take a step the year after. Bears going Paris Johnson here after potentially losing out on their star left tackle, Tevin Jenkins. You know, I have a second rounder on Paris Johnson for one. I don't think he's that special. He's not very powerful. He's a solid athlete. He's built to be a guard, in my honest opinion. But again, my final opinion is reserved for him as a tackle. I'm not going to make assumptions just yet. I just don't really have faith, and Ohio State never really produces the talent, even if they perform well. Like Thyre Mumford performed pretty damn well last year overall. Yes, he got set on his ass by the #2 overall pick. But I mean, he's starting this year. He fell to the 7th. I just highly doubt that Paris Johnson's going to actually be a top 10 player. Now, we could see somebody like Anton Harrison in here, but I would highly doubt that that Paris Johnson is in this group. But again, I'll never say no to protection. It's just a bit rich for me. Panthers going CJ Stroud. Honestly, with the quarterback room that you have, you could honestly think about going after a tackle. You could. I know that obviously Icky was drafted last year, but quarterback is the obvious choice. Trying to think of alternate solutions. I think that going offensive line again wouldn't be a horrific idea. Again, this would be where Paris Johnson would be great because if Icky works at left tackle, you can use Paris as a guard/tackle hybrid. Injuries happen, or if Icky ends up not working as a tackle and being a monster guard, you can again use Paris probably as a tackle. That's where I would start considering it. The Bears, it's more like you need them to work. That's where you kind of are going to go to free agency for that. Obviously, Teron Armstead for example, was an amazing get by the Dolphins. But regardless, CJ Stroud, not a bad choice. I have him as my 4th quarterback overall in the class. Has some really horrific tape, and he has some really great tape. So let's just see which one ends up being consistent this year, because, I mean, the jury's still out. And I'm surprised my number 2 overall quarterback, I did not think that he was actually going to be taken here. Giants go Anthony Richardson. Big fan of this one. Again, Brian Dable worked with Josh Allen, made him really damn good. Anthony Richardson has a lot to work on, but holy crap, his tools are ridiculous. Much better than CJ Stroud's. Don't at me. Like, Anthony Richardson has so much more potential. Number 6, you got Boutte to the Jags. Wide receiver seems to be the mold, and honestly, I'm going to be uploading a Jaguars video tomorrow. Pretty sure it's, yeah, Jaguars are next in line. So it's going to be tomorrow. You guys get to see a Jaguars video where I break it down. I could definitely see them going after wide receiver round 1. The problem is I don't really think there's many round 1 worthy wide receivers. Like, there's a lot of dudes, but not a lot of true wide receiver ones. Quentin Johnston I have as like a late 1st, early 2nd. I don't think he's going to test very well, and I think he's going to end up being one of those late dudes. I think that'd be a much better option if you have the 6th overall pick, maybe trading up into the end of the 1st, similar to what you did last time, to be able to get someone like Quentin Johnston. This might be a better option for a different position at the moment, but we shall see. Number 7, Detroit Lions going Bryce Young. It seems just to be a commonality between a lot of people that Bryce Young is going to fall to the Lions. I'm not going to complain. Again, if you end up being with Jameson Williams, that'd be pretty damn awesome to get that duo back and going. Seahawks reach on a dude who's not even going to be in my top 50. Will Levis has absolutely terrible mechanics. He's a dude with a big arm who's old and old for a prospect. Okay, so don't get on my ass about that. He's old, as well as he couldn't beat out Sean Clifford. And with a big arm, he has 15 big-time throws over an entire season. That's pretty bad and has a very high interception amount. So, again, there's some things to like about Will Levis for sure, and he has a lot of potential. I would love to see him prove me wrong, but people who I really trust and are like not big fans of this dude whatsoever. So, yeah, not a fan of Will Levis, and I hope that the Seahawks don't end up blowing their first round pick on him. With number 9, Commanders going Cam Smith. I feel like I've done this before. Cam Smith's a very popular choice, or Eli Ricks for the Commanders. I don't really blame him. Cornerback definitely could be something that you try to spice up the mix. William Jackson hasn't exactly been a lockdown. Kendall Fuller's still in the mix, but Cam Smith wouldn't be a bad option. Maybe like round 2, you could try to see them going after more of a safety, and I'm trying to think of the name that you use for it. There's a specific name, but you could be using that safety linebacker hybrid for sure, but I know Cam Curl plays that quite a bit. Regardless, let's continue here. New York Jets, Trent Simpson, not going to be worth it at all. His play recognition is very poor, but he's a really damn athletic dude, and I think that if he ends up becoming smarter on the field, he definitely could be worth a 1st round pick, but this is a very low value position. Just linebackers don't make that much of an impact on the roster overall. And it's really high for somebody who doesn't deserve to be in that consideration. This is a really bad linebacker class. It could artificially boost him into the 1st round. He probably shouldn't deserve it. But because of the fact that there's probably nobody in the next round, some teams might feel a little antsy and then pull the trigger. So that's the only option to see, or the only way that Trent Simpson gets in, is just he either gets smarter or people are just scared of not getting a linebacker, which go to free agency. Beats me. But Steelers go Keely Ringo would fit absolutely amazingly with the Steelers. I think I would rather go Joey Porter, but again, you can't complain. Keely Ringo is a stud. Philadelphia Eagles go Myles Murphy. You guys already know is my number 1 player, and I think edge is an amazing position for them to target. So big thumbs up from me. He'd be playing that Derek Barnett role, and he would be kicking ass. Patriots go Jackson Smith and Jigba. That's where he'd work. I would love that. I'm not a huge fan of Jackson Smith and Jigba. I have a late 1st on him, but that would be perfect for him. Absolutely perfect. The thing is, I'm an Ohio State fan, and 2 of the guys who I'm much lower on than the consensus are Ohio State guys. So take with that as you will. No, the Texans go Brian Breesy. I have a 3rd round grade on him. I thought he was lazy. I didn't really think that he was honestly that good. And, I don't even think that he's the best Clemson interior defensive lineman. I think Tyler Davis deserves to get that rep because he has some really, really good tape. I don't see that from Bryan Bresee at all. Again, I've seen interior defensive linemen who are 1,000 times better fall to like the third round, and I'm giving benefit of the doubt for Bryan Bresee. His tape is not good. Christian Gonzalez, I haven't done enough deep tape study on him, but I've heard he's a really good sticky press corner, so love to hear that. I think that would fit perfectly with what the Cardinals are looking for. Titans going Jordan Addison. I think that would be awesome as well. Now you're getting a more dynamic threat. You have a big body on the outside. Robert Woods is an amazing number 2 with Jordan Addison inside. So I really do like that. Treylon Burks, I hope, takes that step up. So Eagles go Eli Ricks. Fits perfectly with the scheme. Again, I think I had them I had my way too early prediction for Ricks going to the Eagles. He fits very well. Amazing zone corner. Vikings going Andrew Voorhees would be a big fan. Number 1 offensive lineman in the draft, in my opinion. Again, he's a little bit older, so I'd probably draft younger prospects over him. But if you just need a dude, you're sitting at 18 just outside the playoffs, that's probably the guy that you want to plug in. Big fan of what Voorhees can bring to the table. Colts go Isaiah Foskey. He didn't even make it into my top 10 edge rusher list. I just don't see it from him. I think Darrell Shami from Maryland is a lot better version of him. Same exact type of height to weight ratio, same exact physical profile. Both are super raw, but Shami shows a lot more on tape, in my opinion. I could be proven wrong. I think Foskey is going to have a big jump this year, so we'll see. But as of right now, ain't no way in hell I'm taking Foskey until maybe the 4th, if not 5th round. So yeah, that's another unpopular opinion of mine. Vegas Raiders going Gervon Dexter. I have a 1st round grade on him. He is a beast, lots of potential there, and I think that's a great fit with the Raiders. Cowboys going Peter Skoronski. I think that'd be excellent as well, depending on, because I think, again, you could be plugging him at either tackle spot or either guard spot. You know, I don't know where Tyler Smith's going to be in his development track, but I mean, Peter Skoronski can certainly fit where need be. I think that'd be an excellent move. I don't think it's realistic that the Cowboys go O-line back-to-back years in the first, but if they do, I'll be absolutely happy. So again, I think Peter Skoronski is worth a late first, and given the fact that he can be such a plug-and-play guy for a team like the Cowboys, where the future isn't exactly certain at the offensive line positions, I think that'd be great. Great choice. Dolphins going Bijan Robinson here, running back out of Texas. I'd be opting for Broderick Jones at this point. Again, right tackle is a little bit suspect, but Bijan is a beast. Again, they forfeited their first pick, so RIP to that. I guess you're trying to hit a home run here, but again, you have to think McDaniels is really good at being able to maximize a later round talent at running back. So I would much rather get a much better offensive lineman and get 50% of Bijan Robinson and be able to make 70% out of him. So that's where I'm at right there. Seahawks going Henry To'o. Again, another guy who doesn't really belong in the first, but might be artificially boosted into it based on the fact that there's just not many dudes out there. Bengals going Michael Mayer. Again, I put Sam Laporta here. People got really mad. I don't think Michael Mayer is honestly that good. I hate to say it. I don't have a Notre Dame. I'm not against Notre Dame dudes. Apparently I am. I didn't really like Kyron Williams last year either. But Michael Mayer he's just really good with the ball in his hands. He just can't really get open. It's really weird. It's hard to explain. I'm going to be writing articles on all of these guys. I have that all linked in my Twitter. You guys can see it. It's a pinned comment. You guys get to see every single one of those that I do. I make a 3-minute scouting report that you get to see the good, the bad, the ugly, and my full grading breakdown so you guys can never miss out on exactly how I grade a player. So Michael Mayer, I'm not that big of a fan. I still have a 2nd round grade on him. It's a low value position too. Quentin Johnston's here. I think that's probably the best case scenario for the Ravens, getting a true big body receiver who can just absolutely snatch everything out of the air. Lions go Kyle Blue Kelly. I didn't know that other people were as high on him as like I am. I don't have him in that range yet, but he is definitely getting close. Like I haven't been able to do my deep tape study, but he gets close. Like he's really good. Jordan Battle. I'm not a fan of him overall, just in general, not a big fan. I think that he's just very mediocre at a lot of things. And, a lot of people are saying, oh, he's good at everything. He's like college good at everything. He doesn't play coverage the way that you want him to. He doesn't process the way you want him to. I didn't even see him play the run the way I really wanted him to. As a guy who's a former Jordan Battle fan, it just really hurt to see him not take that step during the year. And I do think there are better safeties, especially better strong safeties, even in the SEC, including the team that beat Bama, Texas A&M. Like Antonio Johnson's going to be a monster. So definitely for that. Tucker Kraft, I have not been able to study in depth yet, so I'm not going to give you an opinion on that. However, I don't exactly think that the Chargers need to take him at that point. I think Eric Gilbert might be a better option there, or you can go Sam Laporta if you are stuck on going tight end. No, Sewell, I don't know how many more linebackers the Chiefs need, but if they're going to go one, Noah Sewell is the best in the class. And he still has like a 25% missed tackle rate. So, there's a lot of room to improve, but I think it's a pretty easy thing to improve. Garrett Williams, I honestly wanted to put him top 10. He ended up being top 15. He might even be top 10. I'm forgetting right now. But yeah, this guy is sticky. I'm a big fan of him. So I'm excited to continue diving into all the niche corners that are starting to make some early rises. So Garrett Williams is a stud. Jermaine Burton would be great for the Bills. I don't really know how he's going to be able to fit with Gabriel Davis there. Both are going to play a similar role, in my opinion. But hey, the more the merrier, right? And that's going to be it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this part. Let's jump right into the mock draft. All right, welcome in. It is time for round 2. Yes, we are continuing this mock draft with another round because that's what's the best part. That's the fun part of this, right? So let's continue. Looking at the Texans here, I honestly thought their DBs didn't look too shabby, but I did see a little bit of suspiciousness there in that safety room. Antonio Johnson, I think, would provide a lot of help. Again, you have Lovie Smith there. I think Antonio Johnson would be great, even if he came down the box. Like, I'm a huge fan of Antonio Johnson. I do have him almost as a blue chip player. You could try to go after another quarterback here. Broderick Jones wouldn't be a bad option. Again, you're going to get a solid tackle out of it. I don't exactly think Tytus Howard is the long-term answer. So that's definitely an option to me. Anton Harrison as well. But I'm going to get a Swiss Army knife. When in doubt, you have Jalen Pitre. Now you have Antonio Johnson, both guys who are hyper versatile players. And I really don't think Pitre is a strong safety. I think that he's a slot/free because, again, he's just that good. He's very versatile. I think Antonio Johnson could even be a boundary corner. So big fan of him right there. For the Falcons, I talked about getting a corner, but I think an edge rusher wouldn't be too shabby either. You do actually have some dudes on there, so I'm not going to infringe upon D'Angelo Malone and Arnold Ebiketti's territory, but I really want to go Andre Carter. I really do. I'm just going to continue building the defense up. If I'm going to be honest, we could go a tackle. We could try to shore up the offensive line completely because, again, you can never have too many offensive linemen. We could also go wide receiver here. I don't think that would be a bad option, actually. At this point in the draft, they have absolutely nobody in here, and it is so embarrassing for PFF. It really is. And it's irritating for me. So apologies about that. They could end up going, they could go wide receiver here. I think I might go cornerback, though. I think the best value is here. Joey Porter Jr. is super sticky, but man, I'm having a hard time not picking Tyreek Stevenson here. This guy is an absolute sticky man coverage type of dude who has a lot of really good traits in zone as well. He's over 210 pounds, guys. This guy is a monster. You guys need to keep your eyes out for him. I have a first-round grade on him. This guy is a freak. Especially this year with all the assistant coaches that Miami has, you're going to be seeing them take a big, big step. Pick number 34, the Bears are on the board, and you got to go wide receiver here. We're going to probably go someone who's not on this list, and we're going to put A.T. Perry here, which honestly, in reality, wouldn't be a horrible pick in its own. He's not going to be in this round, but we're going to go Xavier Hutchinson, my number 1 wide receiver in the class. He's he's probably 4.5 speed. Like he's around 4.5 to 4.4. He's in that range. Hands are incredible. I think he has a 2% drop rate and he's super smooth as a route runner. So really good against the press. Well, for the most part, his release package definitely needs to get a little polishing up, but I think a team like the Bears could definitely use someone who's about 6'3" and around 215, just going at it and getting the ball for Justin Fields. Pick number 35, we have the now CJ Stroud led Panthers. And I think going after edge rusher, continue the trend. Andre Carter, when in doubt. This guy is an absolute beast. Big fan of Andre Carter. I have a first round grade on him as well. I think he's going to be able to light it up there for the Panthers. Pick number 36, we have the Giants. And, when you're thinking about the Giants, offensive line probably isn't the first thing I would even address anymore, which is crazy because there's some good offensive linemen here. Edge isn't either. And we've already addressed that quarterback position. So you could try to go for the interior of the offensive line. That might be the best case scenario for you. It kind of sucks to not see him in here, but I'm considering still going interior with Osiris Torrance, which, again, no idea why they don't have him in here. So we're going to actually do that. We're going to say it's Caleb Chandler. I apologize, guys, for PFF's lack of an ability to actually do anything right. But Osiris Torrance is a mean dude, going to help a lot in that run game as well. Pick number 37, the Jaguars are on the board. I still could see them going after a tackle. Again, they gave a 3-year extension to the left tackle, and they also have Walker Little developing, and they still have Jawan Taylor, but not exactly fully sold. I would like to try to take a shot on Broderick Jones if possible here. Again, there's not really much you have to address, and maybe cornerback is the right position, and we're going to go my number 1 corner in the class. That's going to be Jalen Jones, which, say it with me, they don't have in here. So we're going to go RJ Moten, who honestly is a really good player. So he wouldn't make it into this, but I have to give him a shout out. We're still going to be going after Jalen Jones, cornerback from Texas A&M, 6'2", over 200 pounds, sticky, impress, really, really smart on the field, very well balanced. Pick number 38, we have the Lions on the board, where we have already taken, who do we take? We took a linebacker, if I'm not mistaken. Did we take HTT? No, we did not. We took Caillou Blue Kelly as well as Bryce Young. So linebacker is still an issue. Problem is, like I said, not really any good ones in this class. Edge rushers are looking pretty good. I would consider going after safety personally because there are some good ones in this class, but I'm not really vibing with that idea. We could try to get somebody for the interior of the offensive line as well, but at this point, I honestly would consider it. I would. I don't think Christian Mahogany's coming out. He has a torn ACL. He's probably going to be out for the year. Leighton Robinson would not be bad to have as an interior depth. Again, second round, you don't really want to hear that, but might be the way it goes. I would actually consider taking Josh Downs here, though. Again, you're getting another versatile weapon. The problem is Amon-Ra's in the slot as well. Raheem Jarrett could be another dude to be sticking out on the outside that might make a very good difference on this team. He doesn't have to be slot specific. He is a little bit lighter, but he's really good after the catch. This is going to be another one of those guys where you're just going to continue building speed, and it's just going to make the whole entire offense flow a lot smoother. It's going to have the running game open up because you can't stick guys one-on-one out there. You have to have safety coverage over the top. Can't stack the box when you have Raheem Jarrett, Amon-Ra St. Brown, as well as Jameson Williams out there. So very excited to see that. Again, I think that his testing numbers are going to be through the roof. Pick number 39, we have the Seahawks on the board. And honestly, I'm considering just going Broderick Jones at this point because his value is just too damn good. And we're going to do it. We're going to continue drafting offensive linemen, just saying, hey, you stick, you don't. Now you might potentially have an all-star tackle duo there. Obviously, went offensive tackle in the first round of this last year. Pick number 40, we have Washington Commanders on the board. And for them, we've already gone corner. Well, not we, but we as in the whole entire sitch has been corner. I would actually be looking for more of a complement running back at this point. Quarterback certainly should be on the mind. So we'll put quarterback as a potential filter there. And looking at the guys available, we got Tyler Van Dyke here. We're going to take it. I forgot about Tyler Van Dyke, to be 100% blunt with you guys, but he also is at the U, super inexperienced, could be falling here. I would consider taking him right here as well as right here. In retrospect, no other team I'd really pull the trigger on, though, because all of them already got quarterbacks. So in actuality, I'm not really it probably was this pick right here that would have been him, but Tyreek Stevenson's a stud. Not going to be mad about that at all. Washington Commanders getting an amazing quarterback that falls. Jets back on the board. It's too bad Andre Carter's not here because that would fit perfectly, but we know offensive tackle's a must. We have to. Anton Harrison, going to take him. Mekhi Becton fractured his kneecap. dude can't stay healthy even when he's not playing. So yeah, it's kind of sold. You're going to be going Anton Harrison here. My number one offensive tackle in the class. The Steelers are up. Too bad. I would have loved to have gone Anton Harrison right there. I might want to boost this team's edge rushing ability with BJ Ojolari, though. I really might want to do that because that'd be really fun. Obviously, you look at it, offensive line certainly is a need. This is not a very good class overall. There's Darrell Shami. Offensive line, you could do it. I think that, again, you could address that in free agency. Running back, you're good. Wide receivers, you're honestly pretty damn solid. So offensive-wise, besides quarterback, you're pretty set. Defensively, you're pretty fine at this point as well. So it's really like, let's go BPA. I would like to try to get some super high upside edge rushers in here and make a good rotation because I think that's the key to success. BJ Ojolari is the way I see that happening. You got the New Orleans Saints here. If you're not performing that well, you might want to start shopping for another quarterback. Tanner McKee would be great at this point. I think that's just, it's worth it. It's a second round pick on a very high floor player. And again, you save a lot of money without paying a QB. With the Patriots sitting here, it's a little bit rough. You've already gotten Jackson Smith-Njigba, which is a plus. I think you could try to get a versatile defensive back in Brian Branch. Slot corner, but he's really sticky, and man, I think you can put him to the outside. He puts a little bit more weight on. Definitely an elite level defensive back. Pick number 45, you got the Browns finally on the board. And given the guys available, I would try to probably go. I mean, there's nobody on the interior I really like. Running back is the strength, so I would probably trade down if we're going to be honest. But we can't do that. You could try to get Clark Phillips up in here, get another defensive back in that rotation because, again, it's never a bad thing. But edge rusher is going to be the place I go. Let's check it out. Let's check out the edge rushers. I think Colby Wooden would be a great option, but we're going to go Zion Tupuola-Vatui. Super high ceiling edge rusher. He just needs a little bit more experience. He probably will fall due to that. Pick number 46, we have the Cards back on the board who went DB in round 1. I think edge rusher is still a position you could try to target, even though you hit it twice in the last draft. You could try, you just shored up, I believe, your tackle as well. Interior offensive line is certainly something that I would be interested in, but this team just doesn't have many needs. I'm going to go running back here. And you look at it, Devon Achane just has so much potential. You're going to be bringing so much speed to the table. I think that's going to be your best return on your investment. For the Titans, offensive line probably is your best case scenario. Not looking great overall. I didn't know Olusegun is listed as a tackle. That's a surprise. But Blake Freeland seems like a guy who they might want to be bringing in. Again, it's not looking that great for them offensive line-wise right now. Taylor Lewan has just not been himself. Blake Freeland has a lot of potential. For the Eagles, who I think are going to perform a lot better than this, I think, man, if they do perform that way, you could look at a QB, but there's just none of them there. Running back is the way to go. I love Sean Tucker on this offense. I think that he'd be an absolute baller as an Eagle. 49 for the Vikings. Went offensive line round 1, which I'll always be in support of. You could try to continue developing that edge rush presence for you guys. That wouldn't be a bad option, but I'm going to continue developing some safety talent up in this piece. Now you have 2 very high-level safeties, not including Harrison Smith. Again, Jalen Catalon, super rangy. You also have your first-round pick from last year, so that's going to be great. So you have a very young developing secondary right there because, again, you're going to be able to get a lot of interceptions with some of these players, which is great. Pick number 50, we have the Colts on the board. I think that if you're stuck at this position, I just looked at the Colts roster. It's stacked. It really is stacked. I would look at wide receiver here. Josh Downs would not be a bad option at all, so that's probably where I'm going to go. Zay Flowers is still on the table. I would probably like to look at him, but I don't really feel like I need to go out after that when Josh Downs is much better for the role that I would want him in. For the Raiders, edge rusher still wouldn't be a bad choice, in my opinion. I really don't think that would be a bad option, but running back definitely is a position of big need. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to provide an excellent foundation for you to be able to pass the ball out of the backfield. He's going to run the 4-3s, if not 4-2s. And again, he's going to Alabama, so there's a chance he takes a big step up. Cowboys. So this is another team that needs a wide receiver. This team is going to get Zay Jones, and not Zay Jones. That's funny. No, he's on the Jaguars, but Zay Flowers. And for that, we're going to take Tyler Harrell, RIP. But Zay Flowers is an absolute baller, really, really good. He has actually boundary potential as well as a small size, but really good deep speed. He has some pretty solid ball tracking overall. So he made me end up not liking Andrew Booth as much as a lot of other people did. So a big fan of that. The Niners, this is where I would start taking a shot on somebody like Jacqueline Roy. I'm not that big of a fan of him, but I do see the potential. And therefore, you continue developing that interior, getting another guy into that mix. Again, consistent pressure is the way to win games. For the Dolphins, unfortunately, right tackle is not really in the books at the moment, which is very unfortunate. But I think, you could look at a backup tight end here. Like, I'm going to take a shot on Eric Gilbert. I am. Like, at this point, you might as well. You can potentially have just a freaky receiving core. You just get the best player available. Pick number 55, we have the Seahawks on the board. I would still be looking for another edge rusher. I know that they went after Boye Mafe in the last draft. We went offensive line already. Cornerback is actually a pretty big need of this team, though. And Joey Porter is a baller. I have him actually as a blue chip player. He's in my top 10. Still on the board, but I do think he'd be a great fit right there. 56 for the Bengals. I heard there's a lot of discussion as to the longevity of Jesse Bates, which sucks. But they already went the safety in the last draft, so I'm not that inclined for it. I would say Chris Abrams-Drain might be a really fun option to bring in there, though. He's very twitchy, very good feel. So we're going to be doing it. We're going to continue to build up. He's 177 pounds, but I really do believe that he has all the talent that you could ask for. Pick number 57, the Baltimore Ravens. I would like to continue bolstering an edge rushing group as well. I don't really think this team has anything that you really need to upgrade. Maybe linebacker, but say it with me. This is not a good linebacker class. Derek Hall is going to be the guy. Just BPA, man. Just continue building up that edge rushing presence. It's going to be nasty. Rams, they don't really need much necessarily. I would possibly try to get another running back just because it's the best value. But tackle, honestly, this is where you can get a guy who can plug and play. And Javon Foster fits this perfectly. I wanted him in a zone run scheme, and this is his bread and butter. The Packers sitting here, they blew their first pick on a mediocre player, just put it simply, but we're going to go tight end. We're going to go Sam Laporta, the guy who I would have went in the first round. That's the way it is. My number one tight end overall. The Chargers are here. They took a tight end in the first as well. I think for the Chargers, you could actually try to get a real back here. And you have some really good options. And for me, I think Zach Evans would be great. But I really love Blake Corum as a dude who, if he stays healthy, this guy's going to be a wrecking ball. He's a beast. Big fan of him. Chiefs, I'm actually going to continue down this running back route because there are some really good ones in this class. I'm going to go Zach Evans. Unbelievable potential right there. He belongs with the best. Pick number 62, we got the Buccaneers on the board. And honestly, I would look at offensive line. I really would. Zion Nelson's worth maybe taking a shot on at this point. Christian Mahogany, I wish he was in this, man. I wish he was going to come out. He's just not. You could go a wide receiver at this point as well. Tight end isn't out of the question. And I like Jaheim Bell. He's going to be a fun gadget weapon for you. And ending off the draft, pick 63. Let's figure this one out for the Bills. Cornerback could be honestly a position we continue trying to develop here. And I think you can, you did end up losing. I don't think Levi Wallace is worth keeping around long-term if he's even there. Clark Phillips has a first-round grade from me. This guy could play safety as well. Excellent feel and zone, and he's honestly developing a man. There's going to be, I literally have PFF. Okay, thanks, B. But, yeah, I think that this is an excellent move overall. So let me know what you guys think. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the far side. Peace.